Well. Meghan literally last night dropped a simple Instagram carousel of photos and she captioned it Summer Holiday. Now, this is the sequence that I'm going to lay out. So, for weeks, we have watched the tabloids obsess over the mechanics of the Sussexes' UK visit. We had the security denial, we had the post-risk assessment, we had the Buckingham Palace accommodation for one night and only offered to Harry that got yanked. We had the last-minute uncertainty over whether Meghan and the kids would even come to the UK. Well, we know that, as I reported, every outlet had a source. Every outlet had a theory. Every outlet was positioned outside some of the places they thought they might be staying, hoping for a shot. And now, after all that speculation, right, Meghan simply posts the photos herself. We have Archie in a plane cockpit surrounded by pilots reaching for dials. We have Lilibet literally mid-air over a pool. Lilibet, incredible athlete. I call it. That woman, that little girl. I said that woman. Lilibet is action woman. We also have family dinners in Portugal, and it looks like what could be Althorp. And we know that Althorp is the family home of the late Princess Diana, Harry's mother. And yeah, we also saw Harry and Archie carrying flowers. So, this is the part that tickles me pink and is making me so excited I can't even speak. The press had no idea. They had no idea that any of this happened until Meghan decided to show us. Now, they speculated about the Portugal leg, so I'm going to give them that. But they didn't know about the plane. They certainly didn't know about Althorp. And I think Althorp, as you know, was probably the most personal part of the trip. And instead, what we were getting from, well, the Deranger's head girl, the one who calls herself a lazy, oh my God, slip of the tongue. That is the lady, the one who calls herself a lady, and the one who keeps conning her followers so she can get money to fix her roof. Yeah. She, according to her, you know what she's been speculating, so I'm not going to repeat it here anyway. But imagine saying all that, and then Meghan drops these photos. This is why I love the Sussexes, because they don't argue with idiots. You can go on a press tour and say the most disgusting things. They will ignore you, and when they respond, it wipes away all the nonsense that you go round saying. So clearly, we see it. We see the photos. We see the happiness. We see the joy. We see the warmth. This is one thing. They say an image speaks 1,000 words. Well, Meghan's images are speaking millions of words. The words that the press themselves will never, ever be privy to until Meghan herself decides to drop them. Now, this for me is where my head is at, because I think Meghan dropping these very personal and very, very private images is a direct result of a family that have learned after years of being trailed, being photographed through hedges, having drones flown over their property, They know that, yes, our location could be leaked in advance. So they have learned the art of stealth. They have learned how to evade and avoid and to do what they need to do. It's such a shame they've had to do that, because I know some people might argue, well, these photos are proof that they don't need security in the first place, because if they can do all this in private. But that's the point. They shouldn't have to hide or be this private or be secretive or whatever. They should have the freedom to go as they please. They do deserve the right kind of security based on the fact that Harry is a son of a king and those children, Archie and Lilibet, those precious children, are the grandchildren of a monarch. But I think it's disgraceful. I think it's a shame. And I think, honestly, I look at the British monarchy and I'm thinking, are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed that you treat a member of your family like this? And you honestly expect people to literally believe in you as a family, believe in you as a monarchy, respect you? Meanwhile, you are the ones feeding your own to the press. So these photographs for me, they're just proof of everything. They're proof of a healthy family. They are proof that those children are growing up having the most incredible childhood. They are proof that despite everything the press and that dastardly family has tried to do to Archie, Lilibet, Harry and Meghan, that they are thriving, and it gladdens my heart. I do not need to see Archie and Lilibet's faces. I don't. But knowing that they are safe, they are loved, they are thriving, it gladdens my heart. I am over the moon. I am fizzing with joy that these kids are being protected so much and they are being loved so much. Yeah. But anyway, we know that the Daily Mail staked out Highgrove and got nothing. Nobody caught wind of Althorp, the paparazzi economy that fed off this family for years have been completely bypassed and they are being starved. I love it. And long may the paparazzi be starved. I don't know the team that looked after Harry and Meghan while they were traveling, while they were in the UK. I can guess that Harry's long-term bodyguard, definitely one of them, because we saw him when Harry went to Chatham House. And there are a couple of other people whose faces might be familiar to us in the squad. But the team, whoever the rest of them are doing an incredible job, and long may this continue. Those paparazzis need to be starved. Those tabloids, those UK tabloids in particular, they need to be starved. This is what you get. You get nothing. Go follow the ones that you pay for. The ones who stayed, the leftover royals, the ones you didn't frustrate out of the country, the ones who you can't be asked to cover because they are boring. You chased the relevant, the social butterflies, the ones who would have given you work. You chased them out of the country. You hounded Meghan. You are still hounding Meghan. And yet, the ones that you fawn over, they give you nothing. You know they're going to be on holiday till at least September. Welcome to your season of drought. And yet, here we are, the Sussexes, in all their full glory, happy, joyous, incredible looking. And this is what you get. You get your news like the rest of us do via Meghan's Instagram. And that's the way it's going to be for the foreseeable future.
Squaddies, forget the fancy holiday for a second. Forget the beaches, forget the sunshine. The real story is sitting right in front of us, and it's got nothing to do with a vacation. It's about a father keeping a promise he made years ago, And honestly, that's the part that hit me the hardest. Think about it. Harry has never hidden what he wanted. He wasn't chasing the perfect headline. He wasn't chasing applause. He kept saying one thing over and over again. I want my children to grow up differently. Now look at these pictures. Archie isn't standing in a perfectly lined up photo because somebody told him to smile. Lilibet isn't surrounded by cameras every time she steps outside. They're doing what kids are supposed to do. Running around, playing, exploring, getting sandy, making memories. That's childhood. And believe me, every parent watching this gets it. At the end of the day, your kids won't remember what car you drove or what job title you had. They'll remember who was there, who held their hand, who laughed with them, who made them feel safe. Those are the moments that stick. That's why these photos landed with so many people. They weren't showing off wealth. They were showing something money can't buy. Time, love, presence. Let's be real, squaddies. The richest thing a parent can give a child isn't a mansion, it's attention. You can always earn more money. You can't rewind your son's first adventure on the beach. You can't replay your daughter's little laugh when she's chasing waves. Once those moments are gone, they're gone. And that's why Harry's journey feels different now. People love talking about the royal drama. I'm looking at the dad. I'm looking at the man who lost his mum far too young and has spoken openly about how that shaped him. Instead of letting that pain define the next generation, he seems determined to build something better. That's powerful, not because it's perfect, because it's intentional. And Meghan deserves a lot of credit here too. She looks completely invested in being a mum, not performing, not posing, just being present. You see it in the way she interacts with the kids. You see it in the smiles. You see it in the little moments that cameras can't fake. That's the stuff that matters. Here's what made me smile the most. Harry and Meghan don't look like two people trying to impress the world. They look like two parents trying to give their children the happiest summer possible. That's a goal millions of mums and dads have every single year. Maybe your holiday is overseas. Maybe it's just a picnic at the local park. The location isn't the point. The memories are. That's why regular people connect with this story. It's not about royal titles. It's about family. It's about breaking old patterns and replacing them with something healthier. It's about saying, my kids deserve better, and I'm going to do everything I can to give it to them. Honestly, that's one of the most relatable things Harry has ever done, because every good parent wants their children to have an even better life than they did. That's not a royal dream, that's a family dream. And looking at Archie and Lilibet laughing, exploring, and growing up surrounded by love, it feels like Harry is doing exactly what he always hoped he could do. Not chasing headlines, not chasing approval, just building the kind of childhood he wished every child, including the little boy he once was, could have had. And squaddies, that's a story worth celebrating every single time.
Squaddies, I can't lie, this part got me right in the feelings. Out of all the beautiful holiday moments, this one hit differently. Harry bringing Archie to Althorp, parrying flowers together, wow. That's not just a family outing, that's a son making sure his mother's story keeps living on. And honestly, a lot of regular people understand this better than any royal expert ever could. Because every family has that person. A grandmother, a grandfather, an aunt, a parent. Someone you wish the younger generation had the chance to know. And what do families do? They tell stories. They pull out old photographs. They say, your grandma used to laugh like this. Your granddad loved this place. This was important to them. That's how love travels through time. Not through headlines, not through documentaries, not through endless public debates. Through little moments, through memories, through traditions. That's exactly what this felt like. Harry wasn't just showing Archie an old building. He was introducing his son to part of his family's heart. Think about that for a second. The little boy who once walked behind his mother's coffin is now walking through the place where she ran as a child. Life is strange like that. Pain doesn't always get the final word. Sometimes it becomes love passed on to the next generation. And seeing Archie carrying flowers alongside his dad, come on squaddies, who's cutting onions in here? Because flowers are never just flowers. They're a message, they're remembrance, they're gratitude. They're a quiet way of saying, we still think about you, we still love you, we haven't forgotten. No big speech needed. The moment said everything. And here's the beautiful part. Diana never got to meet Archie and Lilibet. Life can be unfair like that. But Harry seems determined to make sure his children know exactly who she was. Not just Princess Diana, not just a global icon, Mum, Grandma. A person who loved deeply, a person who cared, a person who wanted her boys to laugh, explore and enjoy life outside palace walls. And when you think about it, Harry looks like he's carrying that dream forward. That's powerful. Meghan deserves credit too, because family history isn't only about the side you come from, it's about the stories you choose to protect. And Meghan appears to understand how important Diana's memory is, not just for Harry, but for Archie and Lilibet too. That's family teamwork. That's love. And can we talk about Diana's siblings for a second? Imagine seeing Harry's children walking through the same grounds where Diana once played. Imagine hearing children's laughter echoing through those gardens again. That's got to be emotional. That's got to bring back memories. That's got to feel like history giving you a little hug. Life has a funny way of connecting generations. A smile, a laugh, a certain look. That famous Spencer red hair. Sometimes you see little pieces of people we loved living on in the next generation. And I think that's why so many people connected with these photos. Because this wasn't really about royalty. It wasn't about headlines. It wasn't about public drama. It was about family. It was about a father saying, my children should know where they come from. It was about remembering someone who left too soon. It was about making sure love doesn't stop with one generation. And honestly, squaddies, that might be one of the most beautiful things Harry and Meghan have done. Not turning Diana into headlines, not turning her into a symbol, but keeping her memory alive the way most families do. With stories, with flowers, with children, with love. And if Princess Diana could somehow see Archie and Lilibet laughing, exploring and growing up, surrounded by warmth and affection, I think she'd be smiling too.
Squaddies, can we give Meghan some credit for something people don't talk about enough? Being a parent in the age of social media has got to be one of the hardest jobs on the planet. Everybody wants a peek into your life, but nobody has to deal with the consequences except your kids. And somehow, Meghan seems to have found a way to celebrate her family without putting her children on display. That's not easy, let's be real. These days, people post everything. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, the family dog, the neighbour's cat. Some folks would probably live stream themselves buying toothpaste if they could. That's the world we live in. But when it comes to children, that's a different conversation. Kids don't wake up and say, Mum, make sure I trend online today. They just want to play, run around, get muddy, eat too much ice cream, be kids. And that's exactly why I think so many supporters appreciated these holiday photos. Meghan didn't throw open every door. She didn't invite the whole world into every private moment. She shared enough to let people celebrate with the family while keeping the children's everyday lives protected. Honestly, that's a smart move. A lot of mums and dads watching this probably understand that balancing act. You want to celebrate your little one's birthday, maybe post a holiday snap, maybe share a special family moment. But at the same time, you're thinking, hang on, not everything needs to be online. That's not being secretive, that's being a parent. There's a huge difference, and I think Meghan gets that. She seems to understand that happiness doesn't have to come with unlimited access. You can smile with the world without handing over every page of your family album. That's a lesson a lot of people could use. Because somewhere along the way, social media convinced us that if you don't post every moment, it never happened. What kind of nonsense is that? Some of the best memories never make it onto a screen. They're tucked away in your phone, or sitting in a photo frame at home, or living in your heart. That's where they belong. What made these pictures feel special wasn't that we suddenly saw everything. It was that we saw enough. Enough to see a happy family. Enough to see Archie and Lilibet enjoying childhood. Enough to see Harry and Meghan soaking up time together, but not so much that the children became a public spectacle. That's a line many parents spend years trying to figure out. And from what we've seen, Meghan appears determined to keep that line in place. Harry deserves credit too. He's spoken for years about protecting his children and giving them the freedom to grow up without the pressure he experienced.
Looking at these moments, it feels like both parents are working toward that same goal. Not raising headlines, raising happy children. And honestly, squaddies, that's a much better investment. Here's the funny thing. Some people complain they don't see enough of Archie and Lilibet. Then the moment Meghan shares a few carefully chosen family photos, the internet goes into overdrive. So which is it? People say they want privacy respected, then they demand more access 5 minutes later. Come on now. Maybe the answer is exactly what Harry and Meghan seem to be doing. Share a little, protect a lot. Celebrate the milestones, keep the rest for the family. Because childhood isn't content, it's precious. It goes by in the blink of an eye. And once those years are gone, no amount of likes or clicks can bring them back. Looking at these holiday photos, I don't just see two famous parents. I see a mum and a dad making a choice that millions of ordinary families make every day. Let's protect our kids, let's make the memories, and let's keep the best parts of our family life ours. Honestly, squaddies,
That's not just good parenting, that's love in action. Squaddies, here's the real win. This was never just about a holiday. It was about choosing the kind of life you actually want to live. And honestly, that's worth more than 1,000 headlines. Think about it. Years from now, Archie and Lilibet probably won't remember the name of every hotel or every beach, but they'll remember Dad making them laugh. They'll remember Mum holding their hand. They'll remember feeling safe, loved, and free to just be kids. That's the stuff that lasts. That's real success. Not winning the internet for one day, not getting strangers to clap for you, not chasing approval from people who criticize you no matter what. Harry and Meghan seem to have figured something out that a lot of us spend years learning. You don't build a great life by trying to please everybody. You build it by taking care of the people waiting for you at home. That's the biggest flex of all. So while the world keeps counting headlines, Harry and Meghan seem busy counting memories. And if you ask me, Squaddies, they're winning where it matters most. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and join our membership for more amazing royal content. Drop your thoughts in the comments, I love reading them. Until next time, I am your host, Miles. See you in the next one.